Biannually means twice a year.
Binaurally.
Biannually.
No, we got some fact checking on the
okay.
Party.
Biannual does in fact mean twice a year.
Yeah,
What does Google say by biannually?
I don't need Google for that one.
Sign us up.
Twice.
Not for the second one, for the first one.
Hey, everybody, I am Kevin McLaughlin, and this is the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast, and I'm Paul Robertson. How you doing?
Really good, man. Really good. We are well into October at this point, and the sun has lost its anger.
Yep.
And it's nice.
A little cool weather coming through. We're drinking our pumpkin spice whiskey.
No, we are not.
No?
I didn't spice mine, but it's good by itself. Look at this stuff. Paul has re-hooked us up with the House of Wine, beer, and spirits, and other stuff, too.
Yep.
And they hook us up with some good whiskey. This time it's Stowlock.
Yes. So we're enjoying it here, and then we're going to have a little bit more what's left. We need to talk to Chris about some straight barrel rum, Florida rum here. So
I'm no longer a rum drinker. I foundered myself on rum years ago, but I like the Knox and Dunn. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing because what are they doing?
They're our title sponsor for their festival, right? So if you haven't got your tickets yet for the Riffs and Rhythms Music Festival, November 23rd.
How does one go about getting tickets?
You go to Ritz.
No.
Reading is fundamental.
Don't go to that.
riffsandrhythms.com, and there's a link button somewhere on there. I think it's still only $26.
That is correct.
Yes.
So. And $25 if you know the right promo code.
Right. So why is the promo code important?
The promo code is a cool concept, and what it does is anyone who uses the promo code when they buy a ticket, they get $1 off. And then that dollar goes to the band whose promo code that they used. So any bands that are a part of the Riffs and Rhythms Festival can encourage their fans to use their unique promo code, which gives them $1 every time.
So pretty cool. Yeah.
So if
come support the bands, your favorite bands there. It gives them a little bit of support. It gets you $1 off to save some money on buying some Knox and Dunn drinks at the festival. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And it's extra money. It's not just all they're getting.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Go out and help sell those damn tickets, guys. All right, we'll leave it there. So, all right. Yeah, so it's been a little minute since we last got together here on the show, and we've had a few things happen here in Florida. A couple things. Yeah,
we've been experiencing epic biblical tornadoes and hurricanes.
And for those that are watching or listening to the show, we're a Florida-based podcast, obviously promoting Florida music, Florida musicians. And, there was a little bit kind of crazy here. Florida gets a share of hurricanes, which is nothing new, right? But this was a little different. It was kind of very crazy for most because we've had tornadoes that you don't see here in Florida typically. You've had Midwest-style tornadoes hit this area.
They were calling them wedge tornadoes, whatever that means.
And
ladies on bicycles flying through the air.
Shoes? Is that a wedge? Is a shoe, right?
I don't know, but apparently it is a way to describe a destructive hurricane.
And it hit really in an area where a lot of our friends and guests who've been on the show here in the Treasure Coast got hit pretty hard, right? Fort Pierce.
More than 20 hurricanes with fatalities in our local area.
Yeah, so it was so obviously the community.
Hurricanes, no. There was 2 hurricanes.
Right.
More than 20 tornadoes.
Right.
That's better.
Hurricane Milton,
definitely left some mow marks on Florida.
And was still looking for his red stapler, I think. Thank you. Somebody laughed in the background, so they got it. They got the joke. All right, so you have a homework assignment, actually.
Who is Milton aside from a hurricane?
And besides Milton Berle, but
okay. Yeah, why does he have a red stapler?
Okay, so have you ever heard of the movie Office Space?
No.
Oh. All right, so you got some homework to do. So add this to his viewing on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, on my to-do list, I got to watch Office
because you get so much free time, dude.
Is that the movie that the TV show Office is based off?
No. So this was a cult classic, Gen X cult classic, and it came out in '99, and it was about working.
I wasn't old enough to watch it then. That's why.
Yeah, his. Anyway.
It's not that funny.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, the last episode where Kevin jabbed you about being old, about passed out because I laughed so hard.
You know what?
But, yeah.
First off, let's have a half a moment of silence for the victims of the storm. And then let's go ahead and include our guests in this show. We've been rambling on, and they're just wondering why we've even brought them here.
Let's do that.
Now, would you like to introduce our guests and the performing group that they represent?
Sure. So let's go ahead and welcome to the podcast the Smoke Boss Militia. We've got Andy and Lucia.
I was told I could listen to this at a reasonable volume from 10 to 11.
Yes, only if...
The Milton thing. You got to really catch up with that movie, I guess.
Yes, you do. Yes. Yes, so you do, Kevin. So anyway, there's a red stapler reference in it and a guy named Milton.
Okay, well, I'll have
Apparently,
to
he
look for
does not watch any of my other content that I did. I did a whole video in an episode I dropped about the hurricane. I made a hurricane cocktail, and I called it Milton, and I hung a little red stapler off as a garnish.
that. Really?
Yeah. Don't worry, you don't even watch this podcast.
I don't like
actually.
to. I don't like to put my mouth on staplers.
Oh, come on now.
I'm not.
All right,
punk.
so are we doing a moment here?
We did it. We did the moment.
Sorry. Okay.
We did it.
Okay. It was quick. Got it.
Were you here the whole time?
I told you I'm pretty tired, actually.
You are.
Yeah. So anyway, so thanks guys for coming to the show here. So yeah, we got again. I think Kevin and I were talking, and we talked a little bit before the show. Like, there's so much going on, and we know your guys' name, right? You guys have been out there for a while, right, and performing in the area. Just haven't got a chance to kind of catch you guys and so forth. So this is great because we're going to learn. We're going to get into the deepest, darkest secrets about the band. Yeah.
There's a lot of them, too, that might not be enough for, a couple of shows.
Hey, if I have
we
to-
need a whole web series.
Yeah, and if I have to check the box and say explicit, content, then we can do that. We can put this on our OnlyFans page, right? Or Patreon, right? Yeah. Only Kevin's.
Feel free to speak the truth.
And nothing but the truth, for so help you guys.
So tell us, what is the Smoke Boss Militia all about?
The Smoke Boss Militia basically is a band that we started actually exactly 3 years ago. I moved here to Florida from San Diego, California, and I hadn't been playing much, but before that, I had been doing punk rock music for many years. With some success, we did a lot of tours in Europe and whatnot. And anyway, did some punk rock. But the whole time I was doing punk rock, I'd been writing all these songs that just weren't punk rock songs. There were a couple that I was calling, I'd go to one of the guys in the band and like, yeah, that's whatever. I don't know what you're showing them. But anyway, I brought these songs to Florida and I started going to open mic nights where I met Lucia and some other folks, and I started bringing out these old songs that weren't punk, but were, and I wrote in, I wasn't, the motto of the Smoke Boss Militia is genre is the enemy. We don't have one trick pony, we try to ride all the ponies. We've got rock, but then we've got blues and country and some funky stuff, and just wherever the song took it, rather than just I'm going to write, this kind of song. I'm going to write a song and then figure out what it is later. So basically, Lucia and myself started the band. We started out just with anybody we could get, basically, and just started playing out. And we've gone through some different some different personnel comings. There's been about 100 people already in the band, I think. A lot of folks. But anyway, I guess I was showing Lucia these songs, and she was, yeah, these are good. So, we got excited about them, built a band around them, and decided we wanted to record them. So we made a record. And that came out in last December. We recorded it with Guy Gualtieri. Shout out to Guy. He's here he's Palm Beach Gardens, and he's one of the greatest engineers and just audio minds. He's got a master's from Berklee School of Music, and he's just a genius. He's the greatest. Really, next time you're recording, look him up, because there's nobody even close around here as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's how the Smoke Boss Militia was born. Just starting from nothing and charging it, and we're just doing the best we can. But now we've got a lot of just super solid musicians that we're just loving having part of the thing. And we did a little mini tour in Lucia's home country of England, and also we did a show in Scotland as well. Just a little mini tour. The two of us and our lead guitar player Greg Sherman came and played a couple of shows with us, but that was fantastic and really just reminded me what a different world it is playing live in Europe as opposed to here. People are just so much more excited about the whole process. You don't have any kind of trepidation. You're just welcomed like grandchildren.
Right.
It's just completely apples and oranges, I guess.
So you guys are going to have something in common here because he's going to have to pick your brains about some stuff. Actually,
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm planning a tour of the UK for early next year.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
So you got to fill me in on what you know.
Yeah, good. Do you have someone helping you over there?
Yes, I do. I've got an artist development team based in the UK, and they've been helping me get my online presence spruced up so that I look presentable. And we it's a lot of work.
it takes a while.
And today we got
I got my second win now.
okay, good. He's lighting up now. He's starting to give it back to me. Good job. So we got the green light to start selling me to the different venues that she's got a list of them in mind. We'll see what we get.
Great.
But it'll
So,
be May
Yeah.
and end of May, beginning of June, somewhere around there.
oh, cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So May was suggested because apparently it begins festival season in May there.
Yep. There's a good, solid bunch of festivals that happen in the summer, and it's like here in being Florida, we're so used to everything happening in the winter. It's kind of like a nice compliment to have everything sort of at a different time. So we felt the summer was kind of pretty quiet here, so we went over there and we had it was a very kind of grassroots stuff, and we didn't have an agent or anything or booking someone that would help us with that. So we just approached a lot of places ourselves and ended up with a bunch of places that kind of worked out, geographically, except for one where we had to go all the way back to Liverpool to do a gig at a funny little place.
Liverpool
it wasn't really Liverpool.
Not
was
really
it?
Liverpool.
It was like,
It's near there.
it was
suburbs of Liverpool.
Yeah, but we had really a lot of fun time, and I hadn't been to Scotland for years, so it's really great to have a look around, and just a great reception from everybody, and plus I got to see my family. So
Yeah, that's
nice.
a bonus, right?
very
Yeah.
nice,
Must have been nice to go home. How long has it
Yeah.
been since you've moved from there?
Well, I've been here for over 20 years actually, so yeah.
Do you get to go home much?
I go quite a bit, yeah, at least once a year.
Okay.
I've been lucky in the last few years, been going maybe twice or
So we're originally in England.
from London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've all my family there. I've got 2 sisters, 2 brothers, still, in fine fettle over there. So, yeah, it's nice to see them all.
So what's the most interesting thing? Obviously, your family here. You live in the U.S. and here in Florida. That they, kind of find it interesting or unique about America.
About coming here.
Yeah.
Well, when I first moved here, everyone wanted to go to all the Disney and all that stuff, and now they're kind of tired of it, which I'm really glad about. And they just come when it's really cold. Let's come over and sit by the pool, that kind of thing.
It's warm for them,
Yeah.
not for us.
Yeah, right. They don't quite realize how hot it gets in the summer. I keep telling them, don't come in the summer.
Yeah,
You'll fry out.
Well, what is the weather like there? I've never been there. I have no idea.
It could be actually anything. So I don't know what to tell you. It could be snowing, it could be raining, it could be sunny.
She's a real
Could
big
have a
help,
heat
actually.
wave. Yeah. I'm really not a very good source of it because I'm telling you actually the truth of what it could, it
Yeah.
could be anything. Yeah.
All right. Well, because I always plan to travel light, but I never do because apparently my traveling light is not really light.
Yeah, I have the same complaint. He had to carry the bag, so
Wonderful.
yeah.
So been now a few years now together, and have been everyone in the Palm Beach County Treasure Coast area has been through this band at some point, I guess, as you've you said
Most-
hundreds of people, right? Is exaggerated a little bit, or
Slightly, but we've had a lot of people come through, and you know, it's been fun. Just sort of,
Yeah.
because everybody's, nobody's in less than 10 bands here.
yeah, I know, I know.
So scheduling's fun, and cat herding comes to mind, but it's just been really great. The people here have been really receptive to. We've had some great shows here, and we're looking forward to doing more. And we're actually very excited to announce that we're going to be re-releasing the record at the Atmos, the Super Deluxe version of Rise Again. Is Atmos, which we also just did with Guy, and I don't know if you guys know about this, but you can with Spotify and Apple Music, I think Spotify too. There are a couple of them now are letting you give them the Atmos mix, and what they can do is you have to listen on the headphones, but you get what's called a binaural mix, which is basically the Atmos mix, which is Dolby Atmos 7.1. When we mixed it, we had about 19 speakers in every angle, and it was fantastic. But anyway, it does its best to translate that to a stereo to headphones, and it's incredible. It just sounds like you're surrounded by, like you're standing in the middle of the band. It's fantastic.
Like a surround sound feeling.
Surrounds, right?
Yeah.
But surround sound with more depth and more. You can really focus in. It doesn't become a surround mosh. It's really easy. You can just it's like you're looking around with your ears, and you can really hone in on the different instruments, and
That's interesting.
it's really cool.
You can get like instruments to move around and stuff, like when there's like fiddle comes in and it's like circles around.
Wow.
It's like really cool.
Right. Instead of panning left to right, you're
Yeah.
panning,
Everywhere.
360
That's awesome.
or no,
So wait. So
Whatever.
all over the place. However many degrees a globe is, as opposed to a circle.
360. 360.
Gotcha.
I mean, a
360
circle's
degrees on an
360
infinite
degrees,
amount
but
of
then you're
planes.
talking like a Death Star, and you're standing in the middle.
Yes,
of
the Death Star of music.
That was the
Okay.
first round thing that came to my mind. Sorry, kind of a nerd.
Sounds
Is it fully operational at this point?
Fully
Am I
So when is that? When is that coming out?
That's coming out on December 13th, which we're having a party at the Bamboo Room in Lake Worth to celebrate it, and we're gonna play a show and have a lot of fun. So come on out.
There you go. Shameless plugs already.
Way good. And what's
long
the
did
date of that show?
That is Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th of December.
Yes.
Lucky for some.
At the Bamboo Room.
You get a free mask and knife. That's a lie, but
Hockey mask.
you're right.
Hockey.
Are you going to charge for those?
Now, if you show up, you get in free.
You're right. To be dressed as Jason.
Oh, okay.
Friday the 13th.
There we
It's a
go.
costume party.
I got lots of hockey masks at home.
So let's talk about a little bit about the instruments you play. Because again, you've got a unique composure of the band and what you do, right? So as you said, you play. There's no boundaries on your genre. You play different styles and so forth. But you've got some instruments that are not typical of something like a rock, right? So let's talk about a little bit about that.
Well, Lucia, why don't you tell them about your instruments? Because I just play guitar. Okay.
Well, I play banjo, and I've been experimenting with different pickups and microphones and stuff, and I just found a really great little microphone that you can clip on the side, and it kind of picks up the sound, because there was a time when I was first doing it when they just like I couldn't really get a good sound, like a genuine sound. As soon as you electrified it, it would sound almost like a guitar. So, and it depends on the banjo too, of course. I mean, there are banjos and banjos. So, just experimenting with all that, and so I played banjo, and there's I play a dojo as well, which is like a resonator guitar body with a banjo head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and mandolin, and then we have John Ace, who's also bluegrass mandolin fiddle extraordinaire who plays, and
We still can't figure out how we talked him into playing with us. He's just dyed in the wool. He's got a 200-year-old fiddle and dyed in the wool bluegrass guy, but he's really having fun, and he brings so much to it. When we first went in to record, Guy, our engineer, was like, "What?" But we just kept throwing all these things in, and he's like, "I'm like, just trust me. Wait till you hear it. Wait till you hear what I'm hearing in my head." And I didn't know if it was going to work, but it did.
Awesome. Yeah, so fiddle players, they're not as, I think we know like maybe a couple. That's about it.
They are uncommon in these parts.
Yeah. I know Patty's one.
Patty King is always the top of mind guy, but there's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few.
So all right, so we got fiddle, banjo, guitar. I'm going to kick you out of the studio if I don't hear something, and I want to hear what's left in the band.
All right. Well, we got Bill.
The first threat of violence, and he's already stuttering.
Yeah, so far I've heard
He's
nothing
not
but
broken in
guitars.
yet.
I've heard nothing
I was
but
like, wait a minute, I think I'm going to
strings
get my
so
ass
far.
I went
He's
blank.
fishing for a particular instrument.
Yeah, I'm fishing it. Do I need to spell it out?
Bill Meredith plays the drums. I don't know if you guys know- You guys got to know Bill.
You could stay. Yes.
And he's you guys, I'm sure, know that Bill's one of the greatest drummers and percussion players there is. He's just fantastic, and really he came on pretty early and just really got what we were trying to do, and that was the key is having people come in and really get that we're trying to do it. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're not trying to roll on just the regular wheels either. Just we're trying to make it a little more interesting, put together some stuff that maybe people thought, well, how can that go together? I'm like, here, let me just play it for you, kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then we've got Linda Kiley and Ed Spencer. Linda's a fantastic keyboard player. She plays in every band. I think you're not allowed to play in Southern Florida unless you have Linda play. I mean, she's absolutely fantastic.
Very much in demand. Yeah.
And her husband, Ed, is our bass man on the Thunderbroom. He's fantastic. And then we've got Greg Sherman on the lead guitar, the Telecaster extraordinaire. Yeah. He's got more Telecasters than, most people have teeth. Who am I leaving out?
Yeah.
That's
Greg's just...
Wait, are we talking about like a bluegrass level of teeth or like a regular level of teeth?
Yeah,
normal teeth.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
City folk teeth.
All right.
Okay, city folk teeth. Now I'm in the right ballpark.
We got to set the right. So now that it's just something that just comes to mind is just recently is I guess it's maybe recent, unfortunate, but again, there's always next year is the Treasure Coast Blues Society. Battle of the Band. What do you call it? What is the
International Blues Challenge?
Thank you. Yeah, that thing.
Oh yeah, I saw some clips from that. The Lunatics, who are friends of ours, were in that, and
Yes, they were.
And Jake Walden as well.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so every year, blues.org is based out of Memphis, and they run the blues. They run the Blues Hall of Fame in Memphis, and they have taken it upon themselves. Their mandate is to keep the blues alive.
Right.
And there are organizations under their umbrella all over the world. And so the International Blues Challenge is what I call, it's like the NFL playoffs of all the best unsigned blues bands on the planet.
Very cool.
And so every local organization picks a representative who wins to represent their area, and then they go to compete in Memphis. And it's awesome. There are bands from all over the world. Last year we
JP Soares was
JP Soares has done it.
Too, right?
Yeah, Dave Scott has done it. Kevin McLaughlin's done it. Jake Walden's going to be doing it this year.
Oh, cool.
So I just bring it up as again, if you're aware of that, something to kind of been put on the radar for.
Yeah, no, we've got a couple of blues song or quasi blues song. I don't know if we're
well, we
blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
On the edge of
definitely give it a
blues.
shot next
There's
year.
different,
Yeah.
different range. I mean, we went, where Kevin performed, right? And there was a different range of blues, right? There's a very
It
wide.
was a wide range, yeah. A lot of soul bands, a lot of blues rock bands, a lot of traditional blues bands.
Cool.
As long as it's blues inflected, it's good.
Yeah, I always hear about these things right after they happen. I'm like,
Well, it happens every
totally
year.
would have gone to that.
What you want to do is you want to become a member of your local blues society. There's
okay.
one in South Florida. There's the Treasure Coast Blues Society. They're all over the world.
Good to know.
And they hold it in the coldest time of the year.
Right, it's been freezing.
Oh, Memphis, Jesus.
Memphis was cold last year.
Oh, okay.
January 18th is typically the coldest day of the year, and it lived up to its name this year.
All right.
When we left Port St. Lucie, it was 67 degrees. When we got to Memphis, it was 7 degrees.
Whoa.
That's cold.
It was cold. It was cold, and it was cold.
It was cold. Yeah.
So cold.
Yes, it was very cold. Yes. Anyway, so
Did we say it was cold?
yeah,
No.
cold as a witch's. Yeah, that thing. Yeah. And of course, I stopped short at not saying tit, but I've been saying everything else, right?
You're not supposed to say tit on a podcast like this, so don't say tit.
Oh, Joe Rogan's gonna yell at us.
Thought you said it was an adult.
We're being sarcastic. Just like they always tell you, you're not supposed to look right into the camera.
We're getting our guests are fact checking us here.
Right.
They're holding us to a standard.
we got.
Okay, yes.
Speaking of fact checking,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let's introduce here as our producer, off camera producer here, Devin. How you doing?
Making a big deal out of just a small throwaway joke. I was just going to ask, was it cold?
How cold was it?
only while we were there.
So we forgot to introduce our new producer here, Devin, host of the Ghost in the Ox. Does that say it right?
Ghost on the Ox, yeah.
Okay, podcast there, so check that out. So, but yeah, it was definitely cold. So where did we get off on that topic? There was talking about the band and then the blues. Talking again.
So we're trying to turn this bluegrass band into a blues band.
Yes,
for some
well, there's
reason.
blue in the word at least, right? So okay, so I lost count at like 4 names here. So all right, what are we at? 6?
I'm going to have to use the old digits here.
Okay, as long as you don't have to go to
myself,
11.
Lucia, John, Ace. We talked about Greg, Linda, Ed, and Bill. Oh, no, we got them all.
Okay, got it.
7 band members.
7 of us.
Okay,
And we're not a bluegrass band. I don't want. I just.
yeah.
So we're not an anything band. We're an everything band.
An everything band.
All the
difference.
genres.
Big difference.
The one song that we heard, I don't know what the name of it is, but I would classify it as punk grass.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Which song did you hear?
The one that sounds like punk grass. I don't know the name of it. We listened to it today, and I didn't get the name. Do we know what the name of that is?
Well, we're gonna get fact checked. Well, it would make sense, right? Because you said your background, you were in heavily punk, early on.
I was doing just punk for just shy of 20 years, I guess.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. But even when I was doing that, like we started in 2009, I moved to San Diego and I joined a band called Rat City Riot. And they had just lost their rhythm guitar player and needed somebody to learn a bunch of songs and go with them on a 2-month tour of Europe in about, I don't know, it was like 6 weeks or something. They had to prep. So I was like, let's go.
Wow.
Rock on.
And that was one of the coolest. That was just amazing. I'd done some tour, but touring in the States, but it's not even close. Just the way, they got a place for you to stay in most of these places, like punk places,
Right.
it's not like the Ritz or anything, but you can have a roof over you. you know?
Right.
That's
right,
a plus.
Yeah.
And they're just so excited to see you and to be a part of the music, and it was just amazing. But we were touring, we were hitting it, I guess, twice a year or something like that. But and that was another band with a lot rotating membership. But the guys we sort of stayed with, one got married and had a kid, and he couldn't tour in Europe anymore, and things started to slow down. So I started to do solo acoustic tours, playing a mix of punk stuff and some of the, because I've never been one genre guy. I like music,
Right.
all of it. And I'd do these tours just myself on the acoustic guitar. It was the most profitable touring you could ever do because, you don't need a van anymore.
Yeah.
Load in is setting your acoustic guitar on the stage, and you're loaded in.
That was it.
It was great. And some of the songs that are on the record, I was playing as well. But I was doing, this sort of hybrid-y punk, doing Social Distortion and stuff, stuff that's kind of punk and with its leg firmly in other genres as well.
Yeah.
I hate that word, but we use it.
There's well, I mean, punk takes, all music is an amalgamation of a cross-reference of Born from Somewhere, right?
Sure.
Right, and whether it's the Beatles grew up on, Elvis and, a lot of that, did they become that? But they were very influenced by that, kind of,
Right.
So.
Well, right. I mean, it's just and the further you move into history, the more influences there are,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Coming up with the Beatles, there was, a certain amount of stuff that was available. And, a lot of that was blues and Elvis and things like that.
And that's something that I talk a lot on the Drums and Rums podcast is like with drummers, like, that some that may not know the history and say, yeah, I'm a so-and-so fan or influence or whatever. It's like, yeah, but that means you also were really influenced by this guy here.
Right.
Right. And big band maybe or jazz or whatnot. And it's like, oh, John Bonham. Everyone says John Bonham, right? Well, who was he influenced by, right? So, yeah.
Who was he influenced by?
Okay, my brain just went out again there. So actually, no, hold on.
Thunderstorms.
Hold on. We have
I'm serious. I've never heard anybody talk about John Bonham's influences.
I'm drawing a blank here.
Was it a drummer that was a contemporary or like far before his
He goes
time?
back. Devin's going to look it up for you.
Gene Krupa or
Gene Krupa.
Yeah, something. He's got some of the influence there. There's one name in particular that I'm.
Keith Moon, maybe?
Buddy Rich?
No.
Mitch Mitchell?
No. Yeah, well, but they were all contemporaries, though.
Well,
one was contemporaries.
But they were a few years before him, right?
Well, when John Bonham was getting his style together, it was the late 60s, early 60s maybe. Who was the biggest drummer in the 50s?
Well, yeah, Buddy Rich, Krupa. You got it, Devin?
Well, my very, very quick research, I found an article that says John Bonham's 5 favorite drummers of all time.
Okay.
Is that what
5
we're
favorite
looking for?
drummers?
Gene Krupa,
Oh, hello.
Ginger Baker,
Ginger Baker. That's
Buddy Rich,
Buddy Rich. That was the name I couldn't think of.
Max Roach,
Max
Roach.
Keith Moon.
Yes. Who
What was the last
Keith
one?
Moon.
Okay.
Ah, so all the names
He's
plus
got
a
his
few
own
more.
couple of favorites. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Max Roach. Yeah.
I totally forgot about Max Roach.
Right. I think I saw him in the corner somewhere in here.
Yeah, it was big in the 80s. Max Roach room.
You can check in, but you can't check out.
Yep.
I'm just joking. See, it's like there's roaches
That's
in
the
here.
Hotel
Just give me
California.
this look like shit. There's bugs in here.
Oh, didn't tell me about that.
No, they used to be here, but
She's not fond of
Yes.
bugs.
Ah, okay,
No,
gotcha.
Anything with 6 legs. No.
So yeah, okay. So we've got a little segment here talking about the Tales from the Road. Obviously, you guys have toured here in the UK, so I'm sure there's got to be some really good stories here. So who wants to take a shot at this first? So Lucia, do you got the Tales from the Road story?
Oh gosh. Well, I was actually shocked at how often I left something on a train or was about to leave something on a train, like a vital piece of equipment, and somebody was like, "What's that bag?" Oh shit! Rush. I mean, the things that happen.
Somebody, no, I can't imagine who that would have been.
I left my suit, my thing right in the middle of the airport. I thought, oh, there's a buffet, right? I left my. I mean, this happened like 3 times. I don't know how we made it over there in one piece because I kept forgetting things everywhere. Terrible. I mean, if it wasn't attached to my body, definitely the head would be left.
Weapons checks are important
Yeah.
on the road. You
Yeah, I
gotta
guess
know
that
where
was-
all your stuff is at all times.
That was the scare. Actually, to me, that was the scariest.
Yeah, that's got to be
thing.
kind of. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably some good tips for Kevin, right? Is traveling with music gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get that through or check baggage or whatnot, right? You a little concerned about that?
I'm doing an acoustic tour as well, so it's going to be my guitar and my shoes. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Maybe I'll wear some pants.
We had great
Hey,
luck.
that'll make you get through the checkpoint, security
It
checkpoint
takes
really quick.
well. It takes longer when you have your pants on because they got to, they'd have to actually search you.
I bet you're looking forward to that.
Indeed. I invested in just a tip for you. I invested in an SKB case for my acoustic guitar.
Yeah, definitely going to do that with
great.
the ATA latches. And,
Yeah, it was fantastic.
because I've looked out the window while the baggage claim played volleyball with a 58 Les Pauls. Wasn't it cool?
One thing you can do, here's a trick not everybody knows, but if you bring it in a gig bag, they are legally not allowed to make you put it underneath. They have to find a place for it on the plane. But that's legally, but I've had some matches with some.
Well, I won't say how long ago, but a long time ago, I used to travel a lot with my guitar in a gig bag, and I got a lot of resistance. It was at every stage. Like the sky caps would be like, "Sir, you need to check. No, you can't bring that on the plane." Okay, no worries. You're gonna have to. No worries. I would go and check in, and they're like, "Sir, you're not gonna be able to bring that on the plane. There's no room for it." No worries. I'll be fine. I'd get to the gate. "Sir, you're not gonna be able to bring that on the plane. They're gonna have to turn you away." But it's okay. There's a door on the side of the ramp. You can let it off. And then I would going to step onto the plane, and the stewardess would be like, "Sir, you can't bring that on the plane. There's no room for it." And I would just go, "You mean there's no room in this empty closet right here? Okay."
Yeah.
And then I'd go sit down.
Yeah.
That was pre 9/11, wasn't it?
It was pre 9/11, yeah.
You would have gotten thrown off that plane.
Well, they X-rayed it and stuff.
Right. It got through.
But yeah, I'm going to just get a really good case and not worry about
I
it.
think that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So pro tip.
Get a good case.
Yeah, get a case that you're comfortable launching your guitar out into the street with.
Can we do a little practice?
Yeah, we need a guitar case cannon, and we're going to shoot it out into the street. and
One of those
test it.
big pumpkin chuckers, right? Did you ever see those when they?
Or we could get a guitar-sized potato gun.
There you go. Big slingshot.
Build a trebuchet.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word I couldn't say. Yeah, what he said.
Maybe we could just get some retired, airline workers to
Just test it out.
just toss it on the ground a couple times.
Sure, just put it at it.
It reminds me of the old American Tourister commercial from the 70s where they literally had an 800-pound gorilla dancing on the luggage.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you a story, but go ahead. So
Well, Andy was always like saying, "Oh, you don't know what life on the road's really like. You should be sleeping in vans and like having your gear stolen and stuff like that."
It didn't work. It was welcome to life on the road, I'd say. And then we'd end up, her wonderful relatives were putting us up left and right, and we were I was like, this isn't what it's like, though.
you should have told him to sleep out on the stoop, right?
Right.
Like, oh, you want it rough?
All right. I know, right. Okay, I've got points at the Hilton, whatever, so
Yeah, he's
you're
from
fine.
a
You
punk.
go and live it rough, I'll be here.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Just
from
go
a
sleep
punk
at the-
band, so he's used to like fighting
Yeah,
over
yeah.
a park bench with his.
You go sleep in the pub.
I'm sleeping on the couch
Yeah.
cushion, not you.
No, I had to sleep on my guitar so they wouldn't steal it. And
Right.
all this story.
Literally. But yeah, it wasn't. We had a very, very, very plush tour this time.
Living the life.
Good deal.
It was nice.
You're not in your 20s anymore.
I don't have any relatives in the UK. Not a one. Well, maybe one.
That you don't know about yet?
No, no, all of my ancestors are Irish, but I believe my cousin Emma lives in London, but I haven't talked to her in forever. So
Are you playing in London?
the plan is to have the last show of the tour be with a backing band in London.
Oh, right.
So I'm looking. If you know any good blues bands in London, let me know.
Well, will rustle around and see what I can find.
I'm going to find some local musicians to just a bass player and a guitarist.
Maybe Fan could help.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. Yeah.
Making connections on the Riffs and Rhythms podcast.
Yes, as long as they don't suck, I'll be happy.
So where are the couple places you guys play here normally? What's your normal haunts?
Well, we started at the Brew House,
Okay.
the Brew House Gallery down in Lake Park, and we've been doing pretty much whatever we can get. We don't have a manager, and if there's anybody who books bands who's watching this, we'd sure love to talk to you because much as we love it, And as good as we are at it, it might be great to have somebody who wasn't in the band,
Yeah.
Typically that's how it works best. But we've just been catching as catch can. We did Clematis by Night. A couple of trying to get some more amphitheaters things. I'm new to the whole playing for people while they're eating thing, and I really can't get used to that. I'm not, we're not turning down gigs anywhere, but finish your meal and then let's do the show. I understand it's Florida, people are older, crack it all in, but I just always felt like, if I'm competing with their entree, I'm going to lose every time, because if they love it, they love it. If they hate it, they're going to spend the whole time trying to send it back, right?
Yeah.
So, but and the Smoke Boss Militia, we're trying to give them a high energy show. It's more exciting than
background, right? Background noise,
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's
we
culture
want your
shock
attention.
coming from high energy punk to dinner music.
Yeah, it's a little different.
You guys should start kicking tables over. That'd be great.
Oh,
It'll get people's attention.
Do the old tablecloth.
just ask everybody who's unsatisfied with your meal. All right.
What are some of the other places we played?
We played the Canyon Amphitheatre
Right in
Boynton Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but you guys had played. It used to be open, and I know it got renamed to something else. Vintage, right?
right.
Yep.
We played there a bunch. That's local.
Yep.
Local, right?
Yeah, with David Marquez, the owner. Right, David was the owner of
The
Vintage.
previous,
Yeah.
He
previous
passed
owner.
it on.
Yeah, I know it's changed.
Yeah.
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 So,
But yeah, we're basically catch as catch can. The other reason I'm looking for the manager is because we've gotten to a certain level, and we're Lucia's actually kind of taken over and is doing great guns. Getting in touch with people aren't even getting back to me. So shame on you if you're watching this and you got an email from me that you didn't answer. I'm
You
telling
mean
you, it's a great show.
You mean there's talent buyers who don't respond to emails?
I know it's a shock, but I'm going to explode the lid off this right now.
hey, I responded to your email.
You did, but a lot of these guys who are booking, and guys and girls who are booking these places,
Yeah.
I know they're busy. I get it, but
Right.
we're just doing the best we can. But we've so far played a bunch of places. We're looking to play a bunch more. Bamboo Room that's our first time there. We're really excited for that. Heard back from. I think we're going to be back
At the Canyon.
maybe.
Yeah, next year they're booking us for.
So
We don't know the date yet, but we'll put that out there soon.
So the good news is here, right?
Yeah.
Now that you've now got on the show,
Yes.
right? And this is one of the big things that we ask all our guests about, with the upcoming music festival that I know is already we've got locked in, but this is the big part where when we post and start talking about the music festival, everyone wants to say, "Hey, I want to do the show. I want to do the music. Get me on." Because it's original music, right?
Sure.
Which is everyone? It's like we're doing original music, right?
Right. You scare the hell out of people. You say originally.
Yeah, or you have a lot of musicians come out of the woodwork like they're like little prairie dogs.
Yeah, but the thing is, every song you've ever heard is an original song.
Right.
Somebody wrote it somewhere.
right. But the thing is that we always tell them, say, get on this podcast, have us review one of your songs, or get on, be a guest in the podcast, and then that's now you're part of the community.
Yeah,
and forth.
so the prerequisites for being part of one of the Riffs and Rhythms festivals is you've got to have been on the podcast either in person like you, or your song has to get reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have original music that has been released in some way, shape, or form. And you have to be, your base of operation has to be Florida.
Well, hell, we're everywhere on that
So
one.
you guys have checked all the boxes.
Yep.
Now you just have to pay us enough so we'll like you.
Oh, see,
Oh gosh,
and
be a
that's
tough one.
where
That's expensive.
we spent all our money on this freaking record.
I'm just kidding. We like you.
No. So so that's the big thing here is we want to, the show's coming up. It's going to be great success. I hope.
It is going to be a massive success. The line is already forming.
So we're hoping and planning to have maybe a yearly or maybe one in the spring.
What do they call it? 6 month
Biannually.
Biannually.
Is it biannually?
Biannually means twice a year.
Binaurally.
Biannually.
No, does it identify as biannual?
Twice a year?
Is that the deal?
Does that mean every 2 years? I don't know.
LGBT
Every 6 months. How about that?
plus
Them,
biannual.
they, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. That or how about the?
Maybe it's just biannual curious.
That's true. Yes, on a good night.
Could be that.
Yes, at a Diddy party.
Well, there's no curiosity left after that. Everybody knows what they
Yeah,
want.
we've already talked a lot about in the last episodes with Kevin and Kevin, the Diddy parties.
Yes, we did.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
we got some fact checking on the
Okay.
Diddy party.
Biannual does in fact mean twice a year.
Okay.
Okay,
there you go.
so there we go. Yeah,
Well, what does Google say by biannually?
I don't need Google for that one.
twice a year,
He doesn't. He said he doesn't need Google for that one.
birthday and the other birthday.
Yeah, the other. Yes.
Sign us up.
Twice.
Not for the second one, for the first one.
And that's what she said.
Oh man, now we're starting to get warmed up here now for sure. Yes.
We're not even drinking the whiskey.
I know. Well,
I
yeah,
know
yeah,
she's drinking water and getting like that.
exactly. So all right.
Whatever
So
it is you gave me.
Yeah, it looks like water, doesn't
it's
it?
vodka.
Tastes good.
Rohypnol.
So before we start wrapping up here, all right. So Andy is you got an MVP, House of Wine, Beer and Spirits MVP of the week. Well, yeah, we'll flip it around here. So yeah. So what you put you on the hot seat now. So who's somebody who inspired you, or kind of is a big supporter to help you? Just somebody a shout out. This is a shout out of somebody or some whatever.
Well, I kind of already talked about him, but I think I should just tell everybody what an amazing influence and guide and engineer that Guy Gualtieri is. I mean, I've recorded a lot of records, and this is the first one that I like, but I'm super proud of this record. It's songs I wrote over 20 or 30 years or something like that.
It's called Rise Again, by the way.
Yes. Thank you.
There you
The
go.
album is called Rise Again.
And I just don't think it would have been anywhere near as good as it came out without Guy Gualtieri's participation. That guy's really something else. So if you're going to record something, check him out.
Okay.
Is he affiliated with a particular studio?
He is his own thing. It's
Gual Music. Isn't
Gual Music, right?
Yeah.
Oh, does he have his own studio?
Kind of. He's got half a studio in his house, and what he does is he does the drums and he'll come and turn your house into a studio for the live room
Okay.
kind of stuff. And then when you get into just individual instruments or vocals or stuff, then you go to Guys. So he doesn't have to haul all the gear around and everything.
Okay.
But he's just I just can't say enough about what a great experience the whole thing it has been, just recording and working with Guy.
Okay. Guy Gualtieri.
MVP.
All right. There we go.
Gualtieri.
Okay. There's our MVP of the week. All right, man.
Very cool. So speaking of MVPs, we need to give some shout outs to our own sponsors.
That's
here.
right. That's right.
We've been talking about the House of
Wine, beer, and spirits.
Beer, and Spirits, which they're there. They are a trusted colleague and
providers of
supplier
our
of the nectar of the gods. And and we've got Knox and Dunn.
That's right.
Who is the title sponsor of our event.
Yep.
We have multiple sponsors aside from that.
Yep.
We have, starting from the sound and lights, we've got
That's it.
Thunder House Sound, bringing in some thunderous house sound.
Yep.
We've got Freya Neal with her permanent makeup business as a riff maker sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, riff maker? Am I using the correct technology?
I think you are, because I noticed the rhythm was the bottom level. I appreciate
Rhythm maker. Rhythm, what is it?
Anyway, so she's a sponsor.
She's a sponsor. And we've also got, who else do we have as sponsor?
It's Seven Sky exported spirits. They are based in Tampa. They are importers of and export of spirits as well. They're another distributor company here on the West Coast there, so big supporters of them. They were one of my big rum friends too, so they put on the Tampa Bay rum festivals as well, so that'll be something we'll have to get on the calendar for next year. Got a big, very busy rum calendar coming up here, so I may
You poor thing.
may or may not include you on some of this if you're interested.
What do I have to put out again?
This time you have to be at least look happy about it. So yeah, so we got some other sponsors there.
So we've got Budget Graphics out of Port St. Lucie.
Yep,
They're doing our they're printing the things that our other our logo sponsorship, all of our logo design and all that stuff is done by JNC TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got Backbeats and Spirits Media there, being part of that as well. You got
Absolutely, yeah. You
the,
got the B3 Podcast Network,
right? Yep, and KMB
Productions.
I forgot.
KMB Star Productions.
There you go. Yeah.
We've also got Ghost on the Ox, who's sponsoring the podcast itself.
That's right. That's right.
I guess I am. Hey,
There you go. Well, welcome aboard. We'll send you the bill.
And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, So you know what? We need to get a new bottle of some of our Knox.
Oh, you can finish off the.
But actually,
we got some good fucking bourbon over
we
here.
got some good fucking bourbon right here. There. So let's we'll wrap this show up here. And hey, you guys, we got more to talk about here. We got more to drink. Would you guys like to come back next week?
We'd love to.
Oh,
Absolutely.
cool.
And let's have a good fucking time. And let's get this done. So thanks for coming on, guys. So
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
So-
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting we're being filmed as well.
That's right. So again, this is the. Cut that part out there. Would you like to try this again? Take 2. Would you pour yourself? We gotta wrap the show here. You just do the outro.
We're gonna put the ending at the end.
Well, that's what they usually want.
that needs to
All
stay
right,
in.
so let's.
That needs to stay in.
All right, yeah. If I don't put the ending in, we can just do this forever. No. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for listening. I am the Kevin McLaughlin, and this is the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast. I'm Paul Robertson. Thank you for joining us and listening and support the podcast, please. Cheers.